Ihya Ulumuddin, a book by Imam al-Ghazali. We will be studying this book chapter by chapter. We will begin this learning by knowing who is Imam al-Ghazali. This video is a brief of the life and legacy of Imam al-Ghazali. From birth to death, his contributions to Islamic thought, educational journey, and spiritual connection to Prophet Muhammad. Imam al-Ghazali was born in 1058 in the historic town of Tus, Persia. His origins were humble, as he came from a modest family, setting the stage for a life of remarkable spiritual and intellectual achievement. His education began under the arrangement of his father, who prioritized learning and wisdom for his children. Sadly, al-Ghazali's father passed away shortly after setting this educational journey into motion, leaving a lasting impact on his path. Following their father's death, al-Ghazali and his brother Ahmad found support from a Sufi friend of their father. This guardian's influence was pivotal, immersing them early on in the spiritual dimensions of Islam. Al-Ghazali's formal education commenced when he was enrolled in a madrasa at a young age. He quickly distinguished himself from his peers, showing early signs of the brilliance that would later define his career. His scholarly journey took a significant turn when he studied under Al-Juwayni in Nishapur. This period marked the beginning of his formal education in theology, philosophy, and jurisprudence, under the mentorship of a distinguished scholar. Under the mentorship of Al-Juwayni in Nishapur, al-Ghazali delved deeply into theology, philosophy, and jurisprudence. This rigorous scholarship laid the foundation for his intellectual prowess, shaping his future works and thoughts. Al-Ghazali's burgeoning reputation as a scholar of Islamic sciences caught the attention of the academic and political elite. By 1091, he was appointed to a prestigious position at the Nizamiya of Baghdad, one of the most prominent educational institutions of the time. During his time in Baghdad, al-Ghazali embarked on a prolific period of writing and teaching. His works during this era profoundly influenced Islamic thought, blending his deep understanding of jurisprudence with philosophical inquiry. Al-Ghazali also began to integrate Sufi mysticism with orthodox Islam, proposing a harmonious balance that emphasized inner spirituality alongside external religious practices. This integration was crucial in making Sufism more acceptable within mainstream Islamic thought. His seminal work, Ihya Ulumuddin, Revival of the Religious Sciences, became a cornerstone in Islamic spirituality. In this comprehensive guide, al-Ghazali addressed the spiritual and ethical dimensions of Muslim life, aiming to rejuvenate the heart and soul of the believers. Al-Ghazali experienced a profound spiritual crisis in 1095, leading him to abandon his prestigious position in Baghdad. This period marked a turning point as he sought a deeper connection with the divine away from academic accolades. He subsequently adopted an ascetic lifestyle, traveling extensively to explore various spiritual traditions and philosophies. This journey was driven by his quest for authentic spiritual enlightenment, distancing himself from the scholastic environment he once thrived in. Upon returning to his hometown of Tus in 1106, al-Ghazali resumed his scholarly work with renewed vigor and a fresh perspective influenced by his travels. He dedicated this phase to writing and teaching, focusing on a blend of intellectual and spiritual education. Recognizing the need for a more intimate educational setting, he established a small private school. Here, he personally taught a select group of students, imparting knowledge that balanced scholarly rigor with spiritual depth. Al-Ghazali's approach during this period had a lasting impact on Islamic thought. He successfully integrated Sufi mysticism with orthodox Islam, paving the way for future generations to explore this complex relationship further. Al-Ghazali played a pivotal role in defending Islam against philosophical skepticism. His intellectual rigor and deep faith enabled him to confront Greek philosophy, integrating Islamic principles with logical scrutiny to reinforce religious beliefs among Muslims. Through his work, Tahafut al-Falasifa, which means the incoherence of the philosophers, al-Ghazali challenged the views of philosophers like Avicenna. He argued that their reliance on reason alone could lead to conclusions that were contrary to Islamic teachings. Al-Ghazali's contributions extended beyond philosophy. He made significant strides in ethics, logic, and metaphysics. His approach often involved reconciling rationalism with spiritual insight, offering a comprehensive framework that influenced Islamic scholastic tradition. He was keen on bridging the divide between the legalistic approaches of Islamic jurisprudence and the mystical paths of Sufism. Al-Ghazali believed that a true understanding of Islam required both adherence to law and a deep spiritual connection. His teachings emphasized the importance of balancing worldly life with spiritual development. Al-Ghazali encouraged a life where personal growth and societal duties complemented spiritual aspirations, fostering a well-rounded Muslim identity. Imam al-Ghazali's profound influence on Islamic jurisprudence, especially within the Shafi'i school of thought, is rooted in his meticulous integration of legal principles with ethical and spiritual insights. His works continue to be a cornerstone for Islamic legal scholars, guiding them in interpreting religious texts in a way that balances the letter and spirit of Islamic law. Through his writings, Al-Ghazali compiled a vast array of works that serve as ethical and spiritual guides for Muslims striving to lead righteous lives. His emphasis on personal development and inner purity has made these texts essential for those seeking to deepen their faith and practice. Al-Ghazali passed away in 1111 in his hometown of Tus, leaving behind a rich legacy that has endured through the centuries. His intellectual contributions and spiritual teachings continue to inspire and influence the Islamic world, demonstrating the timeless relevance of his work. After his death, Al-Ghazali was honored as a saint and hailed as a renewer of the faith, a testament to his significant impact on Islamic thought and practice. His dedication to renewing and purifying Islamic beliefs and practices earned him posthumous veneration and profound respect across diverse Muslim communities. His interactions with contemporary scholars and students painted a picture of a man deeply committed to the intellectual and spiritual life of his community. This engagement not only enriched his own works, but also fostered a learning environment that encouraged critical thinking and spiritual growth. Al-Ghazali's reverence for Prophet Muhammad deeply influenced his scholarly journey. He adhered strictly to the teachings of the Prophet, using them as the foundation for his own works, thus establishing a spiritual and intellectual connection. Critiques of Al-Ghazali's works varied among Islamic sects. While Sunni scholars largely embraced his ideas, some Shia scholars disagreed with his interpretations. Despite these differences, his works facilitated important theological debates across the Islamic world. Al-Ghazali significantly impacted Islamic education by integrating Sufi practices into mainstream Islamic teaching. His approach helped cultivate a more holistic understanding of Islam, emphasizing not just legalistic aspects, but also spiritual depth. His teachings gained a global audience, adapted by various Islamic communities worldwide. Al-Ghazali's ability to articulate complex spiritual and ethical issues made his works relevant across diverse cultural landscapes, influencing both academic and spiritual circles. Reflecting on Al-Ghazali's contributions reveals his enduring influence on modern Islamic thought. His philosophical and theological insights continue to guide contemporary discussions on balancing spiritual and worldly life within the framework of Islam.